This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
Are you ready to go the distance with Tricia's Disney pick? Or will Melinda deliver a Jurassic-sized knockout punch with her universal choice on this episode of Theme Park Throwdown? Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of Theme Park Throwdown. I'm Tricia at Tricia Travels on Facebook and Tricia Travels 85 on Instagram. And
I'm Melinda. I'm at Melinda's Magical Adventures on Facebook and on Instagram.
So we have to announce the winner from episode 18 on our water parks. And I'm happy to say everyone's a loser. No, I'm just kidding. We tied.
It was a tie. We don't like ties.
We don't. But considering how few wins, although I had a little streak going, like 2 whole weeks.
You've done pretty well recently. I wouldn't get down on yourself.
I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this outcome. I think it's very true to the response, because I do feel that of the 3 that we talked about, Volcano Bay is the most advanced water park, but Disney does offer more options. So
yeah, Disney has 2. So one better one versus 2 still great ones. So I'm all right with tying, I guess. Not really, but it is what it is. So, I'll move on somehow.
All right. Well, I'm also just going to jump in real quick with a little bit of Disney news. It's been a bit of a slow week, but there are a couple things that have come out. A couple weeks ago, signage started showing up on the outside of the Odyssey building in Epcot. So for those who don't know, the Odyssey building is like that weird building that has a bunch of bridges by the monorail track that you kind of don't even know exists unless you know it's there. It's also the place you can get all the different wings during the festivals. And I think the pickled milkshake might also be served there during one of the festivals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so the sign that went up was Light Lounge, and people are like, well, what the heck is this? Okay, it's literally a lounge light. It should be what it's called. It's open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And although they call it a lounge, they have done no interior change besides some paint and wallpaper. It very much just looks like it always does. When I think of lounges, I think of more like adult spaces with like comfortable chairs. This still has like the plastic chairs, the regular tables. They didn't renovate anything really in there, but it is open for everyone. It's not like just DVC or annual pass, which is nice that people can utilize a space that's air conditioned. I do like it. It tends to be quieter. The lighting is nice because it tends to be a little bit dimmer in there. So after you're like out in the sun, it's a nice place to just kind of like recenter. If you're feeling overstimulated, it's a good place to go.
Do they have menus or anything for it yet?
Yeah. This is why I said lounge light. Yeah, because everybody needs more chicken tenders in their lives. But anyway, that's literally, I would say the one thing going for this is that they have a lot of churro-inspired things. So they're going to have some different types of like caramel apple type things. And so if you like that flavor, it's a good place to go.
I'm surprised they're only open until 6 p.m. That's kind of strange if they're trying to advertise it as a lounge that is more of an adult space. It would, I think, make more sense if they keep it open till park close. But
I do too. The one thing, though, that I think will potentially make the place a little bit louder, there's a duo that does like a variety show in the park, and they're moving them into this space. So they're going to do, it's called Max and Eider, and they do like juggling and stuff like that, tell some jokes. It's not like super loud stuff, but that might increase like some of the chaos that you see in that area during those show times. They're not very long shows. I don't know. To me, it feels sort of like a non-character version of what they're doing at Magic Kingdom with Jesse's Roundup.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if this is like permanent or if this is like part of the cool kid summer thing. It just sort of appeared without really any
Yeah.
warning. So I don't know. And speaking of cool kids summer, Disney is launched this photo pass campaign. So they have different magic shots during these 3 months here, and you can go to different areas, 2 different spots in each park. And if you complete a picture in all of these 8 different photo pass spots and put them on their socials or tag them, you win the memory of doing it. That's it. So, but
How
if you're
generous.
I know, right? If you're a completist though, you can find these new photos in Tomorrowland and Main Street in Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Boulevard, so that's going towards
It's straight. Yes.
yeah.
Straight towards Runaway Railway.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be replacing some of the more iconic Chinese theater pictures that you can get. And then
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, that's really the only one I'm interested in. In Epcot, it's at the Mexican Pavilion and in front of Spaceship Earth, and in Animal Kingdom in Asia and in Africa. So if you end up doing any of these and you take pictures, please just like tag us in them because we'd love to see what these things look like.
Yeah, I want to
Or
see.
send them our
Mm-hmm.
way. And finally, since I mentioned the Asia and Africa areas of Animal Kingdom, it's only fair to end with another bit on Animal Kingdom. And this is the cutest news break, and that is that Ivy, the 2-month-old giraffe, has joined the safari. So you can now see her out
Baby.
on the savannah and the Kilimanjaro safari. So keep an eye out for her. So she should be easy to
That's
spot.
awesome.
She only comes up to like, the torso of the other giraffes. So I
She's
saw some
already like
pictures.
6
She's
feet
adorable.
tall, but she's a baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Uh,
I love it.
how
Well,
about
we have some new
Universal?
things in Universal too. Yeah, new things over there. Maybe not so cute as baby giraffes, unless you consider a tuna no crust meal for Fast and Furious adorable. They're doing in Universal Hollywood a lot of new merch and new activations and things like that to ramp up excitement for the Fast and Furious roller coaster that is opening next month. So this week they debuted their tuna no crust meal, which is a tuna sandwich on white bread with no crust with barbecue seasoned french fries, and it has been kind of going wild over there. People are getting it like crazy. I would not be a fan, I don't think. But it's cute. They have to come up with fun little kitschy things like that. So it's on brand. That's for sure. It's on brand for Fast and Furious. In Florida, we have finally an announcement about Epic Universe and their nighttime show, which has been in production for so long now and has been sorely needed. They did have like a little fountain water show that has been going for the past year since Epic opened, and I still loved it. I still thought it was beautiful. It still made me cry, but that is a lagoon show will make me cry every time. So that's not saying much, but we officially now are going to have a new show that will be called Universal Celestial Good Night and will be premiering, I believe it's July 7th. Now they have announced is the opening night for that show. So you'll be able to watch that. The Lost Continent continues to fall with the closing of Doxagroo's Delicious Kebabs. And today, which is June 16th, when we were recording this, the Trident has fallen outside Poseidon's Fury. And that is a gut punch for me. I love that Trident. It is so iconic. It is like the pillar of that land to me in my head. And it's gone. It's completely gone. Sinbad Stadium is now completely demolished as well. So they are really making very quick progress to bringing all of this stuff down. And it's just sad to see that every day we lose a little bit more. For Halloween Horror Nights goers that have taken advantage in the past of getting the free parking after midnight, that is not going to be a thing anymore. They have announced that waiting until midnight for free parking during HHN is no longer an option. used to be included with like the
Where?
multi-night HHN tickets. Yeah, you'll still be able to park for free if you're an annual pass holder, so don't worry about that. But if you are staying off site or if you are a local and you don't have an annual pass, you are now going to have to pay for parking no matter what time it is, unfortunately. We have a new pop-up in City Walk called Tropicool Acai,
Ooh.
and it is just a stand serving acai bowls and cones with various toppings. I'm not sure exactly where on City Walk it is. I just saw a picture of the menu and an announcement about it. So don't know how long it's going to be there, if it's just a really temporary thing, but there you go. We also have a massive horse statue in Central Park promoting the new Odyssey movie that comes out next month. It is literally just a giant horse coming out of a pile of sand. So
Okay.
there's that. Again, don't know how long it's going to be there, but that's a thing. So that's what I got
That
from
is your
Universal.
that's your universal photo op, I guess, for summer. A giant horse coming out of
I
sand.
guess. I guess. I can't imagine it's going to be there too long because we are already starting to see a lot of lighting rigs and things like that going up for
Oh
HHN
yeah.
displays. And so that kind of stuff is going to have to come down like
Mm.
soon to make room for all the
One thing
HHN
I
stuff.
will say, I feel like Universal, like I feel like Disneyland and Universal do a really good job of having some sort of like movie awareness in the parks or in
Yeah, for
like either
current
downtown Disney or
movies.
whatever. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
like that. I mean, like if I was a
Yeah.
local, I'd be like, I'll go check it out. Like it makes you want to at least go see this giant horse coming out of sand. So
Yeah.
I
And like
like
for the new
that they do
Minions
that.
movie, they have those inflatables that are on top of the buildings and things like that. Just keeping things a little interesting, keeping people on their toes, notifying them of new things that they might be interested in. So, yeah, I think it's a good
Yeah.
idea. A little weird, but I'll
Mhm.
take it.
So moving on to our main topic, which we hope will be less weird. We love cast members and I always forget what Universal calls their
Team
peoples. What do they call their
members.
peoples? Should
Team
not be that
members.
hard for me. Yes, I know. Goodness gracious. All right. So we love the fact that there are some great people in the parks. And today we are going to highlight some of the live action shows that you can see in the parks. We're talking about places where you can go and sit and actually watch a show. I know in Disney they call it Streetmosphere. We'll be covering those more at a later date. Today it's more about those actual
Mhm.
scheduled shows where you can get off your feet for a little bit. So Melinda, kick it off for us with Universal.
I will. I'm going to start with my absolute favorite, which unfortunately right now is undergoing a major revamp. It has been closed since May 12th. And we don't have a reopening date yet. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping for a reopening date sometime in the fall so that I can see it when I'm there we can see it when we're there for HHN.
Yeah.
But I have seen some rumors that it is not reopening until the winter of 2027. So waiting for an announcement. But that is the
This
horror makeup show.
wait,
What?
2027? So like winter as
I'm
in like
sorry,
January,
winter of
February?
2026. No,
Oh,
winter
don't
of
scare me like that.
2026. I'm sorry.
I was like, dang, what
I
kind
mean,
of
who
an
knows?
overhaul are they
It could be.
doing?
It I don't think they specified the year. I think they just said winter. So, but I also
Went,
don't
went.
remember who it was that said that and if that's a reputable source at all. So, we have no idea,
Well,
but we know it's
we'll
going
keep
to
our
be a
fingers
while.
crossed.
Yes, absolutely. So, Horror Makeup Show was an opening day attraction. It is one of the only two existing opening day attractions along with E.T. So, it opened in June of 1990 with the opening of the park. It is in the Hollywood area and is a live demonstration of Universal's legacy of horror. and those movies and talking a bit about how makeup and prosthetic elements and special effects kind of combine to create what we see in Universal movies. So there is segments on the Wolfman, there are segments on Frankenstein, there are segments on the Mummy, both the old Mummy and the Tom Cruise Mummy that nobody really wants to watch. We know that they will be adding in more movies when they reopen. I'm really curious to see what those are going to be. But this show is really more about comedy and absolutely amazing improvisation acting skills from the team members and a lot of audience participation as well. It makes me cry laughing pretty much every time I see it. It is just an absolute must see at least once every trip. And there are days
Yep.
where either I'm not feeling great, like maybe I went on a ride that's not making me feel so good, or it's crappy weather, or it's really, really hot. There are days where I'll watch it 2 or 3 times because it is different every time. They go off the same
Mhm.
basic script, but with the improvisation and the ad libs and the different interactions that they get with the audience, it really is different every time you see it. And it's absolutely fantastic and absolutely hilarious. Has a ton of cool props and memorabilia from movies in the lobby. So even if you don't want to take time to go and sit down and watch the show, take a walk around the lobby. You can see Ben Johnson's head from Jaws, which is the head that is like the big jump scare moment of the movie where the head pops out of the boat with the missing eyeball. That actual prop head
Mhm.
is in the lobby for a horror makeup show. And they also have one of the raptor dinosaurs from Jurassic Park and some things from the movie Psycho. There's some really cool elements in there. So take a look around, take some time and just kind of see what you can find in there. These shows run about 25 to 30 minutes and happen about 8 to 10 times per day. And times are always posted in the Universal app. And then they'll have like an A-frame sign outside of the buildings that will also let you know which times are left for the day as well. This building also has really great air conditioning. So if it's just a super hot moment and you
That's
need
true.
a couple minutes to chill, it's a good thing to take advantage of. We're going to walk a little further through the park and go to Animal Actors on Location. This also is kind of an opening day show. There has been some sort of animal influenced show in this auditorium since the park opened, but it has changed iterations and names and small themes along the way. So it's not truly an opening day attraction anymore. This is between DreamWorks Land and Springfield. It's a massive outdoor auditorium. You really can't miss it if you're walking through the park. It is a live show featuring dogs, cats, birds, pigs, and other animals performing a bunch of various different tricks on stage and different kind of stunty things that are really cute and adorable. It is in a covered outdoor theater, so you're not going to get that great AC, but you are at least going to be able to get off of your feet. And the stadium is huge, so there's plenty of seating. You don't have to worry about that. Several of the animals that are in this show were major actors in major movie and TV productions. Some were also rescued from nearby shelters in the area. So it's kind of nice to
Aw.
see these animals living their best lives. It's really cute. And you will often see that, like, some of the birds will escape. And if you see team members running through the park and trying to catch a bird up in the trees, that's probably why. It's kind of funny. But you'll see animals that have been in movies such as Babe, Beethoven, Max in The Grinch, and Frank the Pug in Men in Black, which I think if I saw the actual Frank the Pug from Men in Black, I don't I can't imagine that dog is still alive, unfortunately. But if I were to ever have seen Frank the Pug, the actual Frank the Pug, I think I would freak out a little bit because he's adorable. This show also usually includes some audience participation, and they're usually going to pick some of the younger children from the audience. So that's kind of nice if your kid is really excited about things like that. This might be a good opportunity, especially if can get a seat closer towards the front if you get there a little bit earlier. this is definitely a great show for the little ones. It's really entertaining for them. Shows run about 20 minutes long and are about 5 times a day. And again, you're going to find those times in the app and on the A-frame signs in front of the auditorium. Next, continuing in Universal Studios Florida, we're going to move on to the Bourne Stuntacular, which is based on the Bourne series starring Matt Damon, who is wonderful to look at. This is in the Hollywood area of the park and replaced Terminator 2 3D and opened on June 30th of 2020. It is a live action stunt show including gunfights, fistfights, hanging from helicopters, real live cars on the stage, motorcycle chases, all different kinds of action sequences like that. It's a really impressive blend of video technology and live stunt work. There are a lot of actors involved. It is pretty impressive to kind of try to keep track of where everybody is at a given time during the show and actually try to watch the mechanics of the show. It really is a production. In my opinion, though, and this is a bit controversial, I get a little bored. That is absolutely no offense to these actors and these team members because they put on an incredible show and you can tell the effort that it takes. But I don't know. It's long.
There's a lot of I don't like the parts when the person like comes up and they're in like the war room or whatever,
Yes.
that round. It's just like
There's a lot of segments of just
cut
like
that out
somebody
and just do
standing there
all the
talking.
action. I just want
Agree.
action.
And I understand
the
why
time.
they can't because that would be far too difficult on the team members and on the effects and things like that. But yeah, it is a lot of like start stop. And I think that's one thing that kind of takes me out of it a little bit. But it is impressive nonetheless. One of the largest structures ever created for a Universal show is in this production. So that's pretty cool. It is a 130-foot wide screen, which is crazy. And they have a couple scenes that are pretty cool where like a bunch of people show up on the screen and you can't really tell who's a real person and who is somebody on the screen. So that's kind of neat, especially if you have my terrible faraway eyesight. The show runs 26 minutes long, including the pre-show, and they run about every hour or so. We also have the DreamWorks Destination show. I have never watched this. I don't even really know if they run it all the time now like they used to, but it is just a little show including DreamWorks characters kind of dancing and having fun in the DreamWorks Imagination area. So I kind of, it's not a live show in the same sense that all the other ones are, but I just at least wanted to like give it a little bit of a mention. Moving over to Islands of Adventure, there's nothing. There are empty stadiums where they could be doing shows, but we have no live action shows in Islands of Adventure.
Yeah.
We used to have Sinbad's. During the holidays, we have the Grinch Hula Day Spectacular. But if it's not the holidays, you're not going to catch a live show in the sense that we're talking about them in Islands of Adventure. They do have a lot of the street performances and things like that. Islands of Adventure has the frog choir and things like that, but they don't have a classic sit down in auditorium and watch a live show. So then we'll go over to Epic. That does have 2 shows over there. We have the Untrainable Dragon in Isle of Berk, which opened with Epic on May 22nd of 2025. I know. This continues the story of Toothless, Hiccup, and their friends as they try to train a new, seemingly untrainable dragon. During the show, Toothless, a giant Toothless, actually flies above your head, weighing 1,157 pounds with a wingspan of nearly 27 feet. So if you would like to be in an enclosed space with something that large flying above your head, go see the show. Yeah, I don't think you're going to stretch that far. I hate to tell you. Elastigirl.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
it's
love this
absolutely
show.
adorable. It's a tearjerker. I feel like everything in Burke is kind of a tearjerker. It's that soundtrack. It's that dang soundtrack that gets
Mhm.
you every
Yeah,
single
get you
time.
every time.
But yeah, but it is an impressive show, like Universal does so well. Blends live actors, puppetry, and technology with, like I said, some really beautiful music as well. Runs 20 minutes long and runs about 8 times a day if the dragon is working. This is a show that has a lot of shows that get canceled because of the mechanics and technical
Yeah.
difficulties. So make sure you are keeping an eye on things and, you know, be flexible and understanding. I know this is a huge crowd pleaser, so I am going back to Epic in September, and this will definitely be one that I stop and see. The last one I'm going to talk about is Le Cirque Arcanu, which is in the Ministry of Magic in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and opened again with the opening of Epic. What is the thumbs down for? You don't like
Oh,
it? I haven't seen
go
it.
ahead. It is
Okay.
weird.
Will
It's weird.
hold please. Hold please. This takes place in what looks like a relatively small circus tent from the outside and from the entrance. And then once you enter, opens up into a massive space. And the space just completely changes once you enter it. It is Ringmaster Skender, who has stolen Newt Scamander's suitcase full of fantastic beasts, and we watch as circus employees try to rescue them. It's again a mix of live action, technology, puppetry, incredible soundtracks, different things like that, some cool special effects, and there are some magic tricks thrown in as well that kind of confuse people and leave people wondering what happened. Show is about 25 minutes long and runs every hour again ish. I have not seen this one. It is on my agenda again for September because I have heard great things about it, but Tricia apparently seems to have a different opinion.
Okay. I need I need to hear your trip report on this when you come back, because when we went, it was still like lower capacity. The park had only been
Mhm.
open less than 2 months when we went. And I
Okay.
think there was supposed to be something during the pre-show, and they just had us in this area where the pre-show was supposed to happen and nothing was happening. And we were in there for like a
Hmm.
good 15 to 20 minutes before they just had us go into like enter into like the actual area where you sit to watch the rest of the show. And everyone was like,
Mhm.
"What's happening? Like, is the show going on?" Like, we were all really confused because I will
Yeah.
say the level of detail of your surroundings is so phenomenal. Like, it's you
Yeah,
like
I've
the
heard that.
waiting area, the pre-show, like the waiting area. There's just so much to look at. I took so many pictures in there. It was really like
Yeah.
entertaining, but it was just weird when clearly something was supposed to happen in the middle and nothing did. And then when we got
Okay.
into the general area and we're watching the show, I think maybe it would have been more like we didn't know what to expect, because I don't know if it sets you up in that middle section, but it just starts and we're like, this is like Cirque du Soleil a little bit. Like, we're like, what is happening? Where are the
Mm.
animals? And then things happen
Yeah.
and it gets a little more what you expect. But that part of it to me was like not long enough. All this other stuff they did first, I was kind of like, this isn't what I was expecting. But again, we
Okay.
didn't have any story build up or like a setup for the story, because they just didn't do anything in that. So
Yeah. So they kind of just plop you
I
down in the middle of a
yeah,
story
it's like
and you don't know
we're
where
like,
it's
"What's
coming from or where
happening?"
it's going.
And I wanna hear your thoughts after you see it, because I'm hoping
Mhm.
they've got it fully running at this point.
Yeah, I would think so. I know this one doesn't go down nearly as much as Untrainable Dragon does. So hopefully they've figured it out by now.
Yeah,
But that's all I've
fingers
got
crossed.
over at Universal. So what do you got, Disney? I know what you got.
Uh,
You got
we
some
got a
good
lot.
stuff. You
So,
got some good stuff.
I was, like, kind of being a little bit choosy. I left a few things off that I think technically could fit into this category, but I was like, "Eh." So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
hit things that, like the bigger things. Some of them are better than others. But one thing that stood out to me, everyone's like Hollywood Studios, which used to be MGM, and the whole concept was
Yes.
it was like a working like sound stage. And everyone's like, it's changed so much. And then I realized there are a ton. You could literally just go from show to show to
So
show in this park.
many. I did that one day.
It was
I
crazy.
literally did a couple of months ago. And I loved it. It was fantastic. I grew up a theater kid. I was a musical junkie. I was what are they called? Superlatives in high school. Like you're voted most likely to blah, blah, blah. I was most likely to be on
Yeah.
Broadway.
Oh, I was voted most likely to be a mom.
Okay, that's sweet though. I like that.
Yeah.
That's adorable. But yeah, so I am a theater junkie at heart, and
That's cool.
I love me some Hollywood Studios. That's probably why Hollywood Studios is my favorite park.
This could be a good like rest day if you still want to be in the parks, is just going from show to show. But the first show is Beauty and the Beast live on stage, and it's debuted November 22nd, 1991, and it should have closed many years ago. I personally
disagree. How dare you? It's so cute.
Okay, no shade against the cast members. Like, there are some incredibly talented people that they hire, but a human-sized chip just freaks me out a little bit. Okay, like, not okay with that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And I mean,
just
as much as I love Beauty and the Beast, and as much as it is like obviously a Disney classic, it's not popular anymore. It's just not, unfortunately. And so
it's a little overkill. Because you can see a very similar rendition, and I think a better version in Magic Kingdom which is Enchanted Tales with Belle. There's some like a little bit of magic in that particular show, and I'm a little mad about this because I like Impressions de France, and now most of the day it's just a Beauty and the Beast sing along in Epcot, and it's like, okay, you're beating a dead Philippe, which AKA horse, if you haven't seen the movie.
Yes. I haven't seen any of that in Epcot. The only like Beauty and the Beast thing I've seen in Epcot is I see like Belle walking around. So I don't feel as like inundated with it as I'm sure some people like you do.
I feel like they could do something else. The stage it's not really set to anything. And it's like, you've had so many other wildly popular movies. What I would love for them to do is more like a medley where you have just like, I think that could be kind of fun. But anyway,
Disney princess mashup.
I digress. There you go. Oh my gosh, I used to like have like a competition between the princesses, or they're singing each other. Sing off. That'd be so
acapella
cool.
battles.
Disney, get on this, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay. They have. I think it's called Decapella or something. There's a couple of acapella groups that do Disney music, and I think they've had ties with the actual company. And it's like, do stuff like that, man. Like,
that would be awesome.
Okay, I digress.
Yeah.
Anywho, like some of the outdoor venues at Universal, this one too, it does not have air conditioning. It is covered, but it can get kind of hot in there. It does have some nice shade. It's not like if you sit anywhere in there, you're probably going to have good shade. And it lasts about 25 minutes. It's just a retelling, a shortened version of the movie. Close by, there's a brand new show called Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live. And this is going to be like your Disney version of the DreamWorks show. I have not had a chance to see this. I'm going to be real honest. I don't know if I'm going to see this in person because I don't want to be the creeper in the back of the room with all these little kids in front of me. Like, I just. But
you don't want to do the hot dog dance?
I'll do it in my living room.
Do you even know what that is? Is your kid too old for that?
No, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Doodles.
Yes. Yeah. That's a thing.
Basically, it's a dance party with Mickey and his clubhouse. Characters come on stage. There's really no seating. If you want to sit, you sit on the floor. Kids sit towards the front. It is in the new animation courtyard area, so they just revamped it. There was a similar show in there previously. So this is just recently debuted. If you have littles that like Mickey, this is a great place to go. It is inside. It is air conditioned. It's a 20-minute show. And I think if you have kids that are like a little fearful of meeting the characters up close, it's also a good way for them to interact. So if you like hope
Yeah.
to get pictures of your kid with the characters, that might be a good first step to do, is to have them go to this show and see how they interact with the characters from a bit of a distance,
Hmm.
or help them warm up to the characters. So something to think about. Moving on to what I would consider to be one of my favorite shows in the park is, for the first time in forever, a Frozen
Yes.
sing-along celebration. This is currently running in the Hyperion Theater, and it's been there since June of 2015. It's, again, another retelling of the movie. However, they do it in a slightly different way. They have these
So cute.
Arendelle historians that kind of like sort of retell the story. They throw in like humor. It's a little bit different every time, kind of like horror makeup in that regard.
Yep.
They'll use like contemporary jokes. And it's like the right type of adult humor where it kind of goes over the kids' heads, but the adults get it. But it's not
It's
like
very
raunchy or
tactfully
anything like
done.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. I think part of the reason I enjoy this show is that when we went as a family, my daughter was like prime princess age. She was born the year that the original movie came out. So she is like, like Little Mermaid is to me is like Frozen is to her. And when
Okay.
we went, she loved it. And then we went back a second time, and she's a little bit older. And at that point, she's questioning like the the validity of these characters. And she had forgotten the show because she was only 4 when we went the first time. And she's like, "Is that the real Elsa?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's the real Elsa." She was like 6 at this
Oh.
point, or 6 or 7. She's like, she's sitting there, arm crossed. I'm like really taking this all in. Elsa comes out and she's like, "I don't know." And then it starts snowing in the theater, and
Yes,
she
that's the
looks at me and her
best part.
eyes are like, and she's like,
Oh.
"It is the real Elsa."
I love
So
it.
it's moments like that that I will never forget. And when people ask, what's the
Yes.
best age to take your kid to a theme park? Any age. There's going to be
Any
moments like
age.
that at any age. And they might not remember
Yep.
everything or anything, but you will.
Yep.
And you deserve to have those moments too. So I'm just saying, take your kids whenever you're
That's so
comfortable
cute.
taking them.
You're
So
so
yeah.
right. And this show really is like that too. I talked about this a couple months ago, I think, because I saw it for the first time a couple months ago, and I have never seen Frozen. So I am not attached to that at all. I'm actually quite disinterested in Frozen because I don't like the music or anything like that. But this show was adorable. I was grinning from ear to ear the entire time. And even just like seeing the snow and laughing at the funny jokes and experiencing the rest of the audience experience it with everybody singing along to all of the songs and stuff like that. It was adorable, and it I will do it many more times in my lifetime because I absolutely loved it.
It is a 30-minute show in air conditioning too. So it's like and the seats are very
Yeah.
comfortable. It's like an auditorium. So I highly recommend going and checking this out.
It does fill up though. So get there early.
It's true. And that actually is one that you may want to consider getting, you can using a lightning lane for,
A
because there are
lightning
so
lane.
many shows in this park. There's a lot of shows that have lightning lanes, and this one might actually be worth getting because the show is so
Yeah.
long. If you want a good seat, you have to get there and wait at least 20 minutes before the next show starts. So if you're not wanting to wait that long, but you want a good seat, a lightning lane might be a better option for you in that case. Okay, so its neighbor, like across the walkway or street, is the Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what state this is in at this point, because we had a little bit of a boulder accident where,
Yeah.
for
A
the
big bit of a
first
boulder
time
accident.
in forever, the boulder went off the tracks, and their cast member was injured trying to
Yeah.
redirect this s- relatively heavy prop from hitting the audience. Which, kudos to that guy, because that was amazing that he did that. Removed that piece of the show. I'm going to be honest, I have no clue if it's back yet or not.
It's not.
Okay, so when you were there, it wasn't, or you haven't heard
It
anything.
was it
Okay.
wasn't back when I was there, and I know as of like 2 weeks ago, at least, it's still not back. So I don't know
Okay.
if that means that's going to be a permanent change or I'm not sure.
Yeah. Mm,
But they had
it's
the
unfortunate.
actor, the stunt actor that got injured last year. They had him on his like first day coming back to the park after the injury, and he's okay now. He's still healing. He's still not back to acting yet, as far as I know. But they had him come into the auditorium and they introduced him and told the story, and he got this big standing ovation. I thought that was really sweet.
Oh, that's
He
nice that they
deserves
did
that for
that.
sure. Cause
Oh,
like,
yeah.
honestly, he possibly saved some people's lives. That could have
Yeah.
been a
Yeah.
horrific it was a horrific accident because he got hurt, but it
Yeah.
could have been an absolute tragedy. So, props
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah. So, if you want to potentially risk your life watching this show, um,
Wow.
I,
Way to sell it.
if you like that danger, that
Vote for
element of
Disney.
danger, yeah, and go
You
and
sound
see
like
a
me
show
talking about HHN.
that that came out in 1989. So yeah, it's been there a while, a hot minute, and it's hot because there are fireballs and there's punching, lots of punching and jumping and destruction. So this this show is entertaining. I would say it paved the way for the Born Spence show in Universal. It is nowhere
Yeah.
near the technological feat that is.
So
Um,
I will agree. It's nowhere near the technology, but I feel like the physical stunt work in Indy is more impressive than in
I can
Born.
see that. There's a lot more stunts I feel like that don't have a harness involved. So,
Hmm.
it get again, an element of danger. So,
Yeah.
but speaking of 1989, because that's the year this next movie came out, The Little Mermaid, and its show debuted in 1992, A Musical Adventure. Let me just tell you, this show ran for a fair number of years as the
Yeah.
original show. And we're talking smoke machine with fog. We're talking lasers. We're talking bubbles. And then it closed for a very long time. I believe it was closed since COVID. And when
Yeah.
it reopened, they had redone the show in a way that it wasn't dated to the 1980s. And I
Yeah.
did see this. I enjoyed it. Again, there's a nostalgia factor. This is the princess I grew up on when I was little. I loved it. I thought
Same.
the actress they had was phenomenal singer. It's very colorful. It's again, you're in an auditorium, so it's really nice to get in the air conditioning. The seats are comfortable, and it's about 20 minutes. Once again, retelling of the movie. So if you want to relive all the golden age movies, this is the place to go apparently and do that. All right, but finally, changing gears. So we've made it to the last show of this park. Is Disney Villains Unfairly Ever After? This is one show
I
I
love this
know
one.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping to see it when I know.
It's
I'm
so
sorry.
good.
I really want to see this show. This opened in May of 2025 and replaced the Lightning McQueen's Driving Racing Academy, which again was a cute show, but just kind of an odd like space filler for that time. You can
Mhm.
find this next to Rock and Roller Coaster. It's kind of tucked back, and essentially there's the villains are vying for like who has the best pity story. So you've got Maleficent, Cruella, and Captain Hook are all hoping to be voted like the most like I don't know, what would you say, like, saddest story of them all?
Yeah,
So,
who's gotten the baddest rap?
yeah.
Basically.
I do like that the audience cheers for the winner, like, so you can have a different
Yeah.
experience, and from my understanding, there are actors in this that, like, some will always win, and then there's so, like, it does vary who gets the
Okay.
best applause. So, I hope to see this when I go, at the beginning of October. I need to make time for
You
this
should.
show.
It's so good. Yeah.
So if you like music, I definitely would check this one out. I will be there. Especially, I feel like this is probably one of the ones that's closest to like musical theater too. It just
Oh,
you
100%.
know.
It is,
So,
absolutely.
all right. Well, we made it through a marathon there. We're going to hop over to Epcot. There's one I'm going to focus on, and that is Voices of Liberty. And this dates back all the way to 1972. At that point,
Wow.
it was known as Degeneration. Voices of Liberty got its name change in 1982. So we're still talking like several decades ago and has been
Hmm.
going strong ever since. This is an a cappella ensemble. They do music in the amphitheater in the American Pavilion. So it is covered, but there is no air conditioning. The seats are, I think, like metal benches, so not the most comfortable. But if you are interested in listening, but you don't want to stay the whole time, it's because it's an amphitheater. You can kind of like slowly mosey through
Make your
the
way out
American
quietly.
Pavilion and be like, all right, I'm just going to listen to a little bit as I, wander on to my next pavilion while I'm drinking around the world. So I'd recommend though, they're going to be doing a new arrangement this year for the 250th birthday of the country. So I highly
Yeah.
recommend going and checking it out. The other thing is during Christmas, they utilize that space for candlelight processional, but inside the pavilion, they have a smaller caroling group. They dress in period costumes and they're like Dickens carolers, and they do more traditional Christmas songs. So you get a little bit of different flair depending on when you go.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping when we're there, my husband and I are there in October, they're still doing the 250th version so that we can see some of the new music that they're singing.
Uh,
I think that'd be kind of fun. There are a ton of other shows. Just like Melinda said, there's a lot of like street performers. Again, we'll cover those more. I don't want to, you see the stages, they're kind of all over the place. I'm just not forgetting about them. They're just not as big of a draw as Voices of Liberty. And speaking of a big draw, heading to Animal Kingdom, probably one of the most popular live shows on all of the park is the Festival of the Lion
yeah.
King. I know. Another retelling of a Disney movie.
That's what people
But
want, though, for the most part, isn't it? Like, if you're going to see a show that revolves around The Lion King, you want it to talk about The Lion King, right? I mean,
yeah,
that's what give the people what they want.
yeah, true. I agree. So I really enjoy this one. I mean, Lion King and Alan Menken, it's great music all around. It's fun. It's indoors. It is more of a bench style seating, but it is indoors. You do get air conditioning. The show debuted in 1998, and it's about a 30-minute show, but honestly, it is so engaging that I feel like it goes by much quicker than that. There's
Yeah,
some interactive parts that if you're not really into interacting, you don't have to because they kind of do it by like groups. At the end, some of the kids sitting close to the front, like littles, they'll pull them up and do kind of a parade and hand them instruments and stuff like that. That's like, little maracas or whatever. So
I
if
got
your
to do
kid
that
is
before. It made me so
yeah,
excited.
yeah. I think it's cute. My daughter did it when she was like much, much younger. So it's just kind of fun. Everybody loves the tumble monkeys. They're kind of these acrobats that are dressed in like
Yes.
neon monkey costumes. And the voices, like they have kind of several
Incredible.
narrating voices. Yeah, they're fantastic. So I would make time for this. And this is one of the only shows, like maybe Frozen, but this is one of the only shows that I will actually use a lightning lane for because it is always
Yes.
full. They will turn
Yeah.
people away if you're not there in line early enough. And there is no shade in this line. So if you got the lightning lane, use it. You won't be disappointed. Finally, in this park, we also have Finding Nemo, The Big Blue and Beyond. Now, this was a show that originally was longer, but then when they came back from COVID, they cut it shorter. Thank God, because 20 minutes was long enough for me.
Not mad about it.
Um, okay, again, good. It's got probably the best air conditioning in that park, comfortable seats. It's lower lighting. It's like helps. I think if you need just like some relaxing, less stimulation, this is a great place to go. However,
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan. I think that the people performing are very talented for what they do. It's a lot of puppets. I I have a hard time with this because it's like they're dressed in black, and I just get too, like, pulled out, and I'm focused on the person, and I lose focus on the puppet.
Yeah,
So that's one thing. I'm not as big of a fan of this music for this one either. So it's not something
right.
that I seek out. But if you are interested in this, it's kind of tucked past Everett. Oh, it's getting late here. Tucked past Everest on your way to what will be Central Americas. I have a feeling it's probably not well attended right now just because of location. And it's such a big space that you will not have an issue. If you walk up a few minutes before the show, you will get a seat. So if you're
Yeah,
interested, if you like Finding Nemo, go ahead, check it out. If you've never seen like a Disney musical, there are some elements that are similar to how they do costuming in Disney musicals. So, it might be worth looking into if you've never seen it before. All right.
I
Whew.
wouldn't be surprised if this one goes away relatively soon. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
this is replaced by something Central America themed. If we get like an
Yeah.
Encanto show.
I would love them if they did a Coco. I would love it if they did
Ooh,
Coco.
yes, or
He's
Coco.
in
Mhm.
he's in the with his family. He's crossed the bridge and like people are dressed as like
Mhm.
skeletons. Oh god, that would be great. Anyway,
That would be
okay,
really neat.
Disney,
Yeah.
if you're listening, we just gave you some really great ideas here. Okay, on to Magic Kingdom. There's currently like one show, I use that term loosely, here, and that is Jesse's Roundup, a Rip Roarin' review. This is very similar, I'd mentioned earlier, to Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse. It's in the Diamond Horseshoe, so over in like the Frontierland area. It's open right now for Cool Kids Summer through September 8th of this year, 2026. And it's just you get to interact with Toy Story characters. It's again kind of a dance party of sorts. I doubt there's a lot of seating for this. So, I mean, if your kids are really into Toy Story, maybe check it out. It is indoors. I doubt that the air conditioning can keep up with a ton of little bodies bouncing around. So, you know, if you're looking for something fun to do. But the one that I have to finish with, and it's technically not in a park, but you can take the boats over to the Wilderness Lodge, Wilderness Resort area, and that is Hoop-Dee-Doo Musical Review. This is the longest running dinner theater show in America. Okay, so I'm just going to brag about that because
Oh,
that is pretty amazing. It has run
I didn't know
continuously.
that.
Yes, it has been running continuously with a short break for COVID since 1974 at Pioneer Hall. The show has not changed
The same
much, which
iteration.
people
Like the same.
yeah,
Wow.
pretty much. I I really enjoy this show. It kind of takes you back to
Okay.
a simpler time. You know what? You can just stay over and watch your horror makeup show. I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
We are splitting ways.
Tempt me with a good time.
Hey, fried chicken is a good time, okay? So with it being a dinner show, you're seated, you get fed a meal during this show. It is all you care to enjoy. They will bring food to you kind of family style. And like I said, there's fried chicken, they have some veggies, biscuits. I believe they have a vegetarian option as well. They have a strawberry shortcake that's made like on site. It's really good. The performers come out into the audience. If you again are not a big fan of interaction, I recommend getting a table on the second tier. That way you're a little more
Mhm.
removed from the action. We were right at the stage. Like, so
Oh, okay.
we had a great time
You were
when we
in
did
it.
this. Oh yeah, hardcore. We really enjoyed this. It's music that like I was in show choir, so was my husband, and
Mhm.
it just really, it made me think of like my high school days and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed this show. Yes, it is a
Yeah.
little bit of a hike to get over there. Yes, it does cost additional because it is a dinner show. I think it's worth seeing at least once in your life because it's just so fun. And you want to be part of history. Come on, guys. It's the longest running dinner theater show in America. So that's what I've got.
You are really selling this, aren't you?
I'm very
No,
passionate.
I know people love this. Yes, you are. I know people love this one, so I guess I can't hate on it too much if there's that many people that love it. And if it's been around for this long and they still haven't freaking changed it, there must be something right with it.
It's the chicken. I don't know.
Well, we have covered a ton. That is a lot. And again, like we've said several times, that is just the tip of the iceberg. These are just basically the auditorium shows where you can go and sit down and watch something. But there are so many other streetmosphere, street performance shows, whatever you want to call them, that we will have to do probably several more episodes on in the future because there are just an abundance of them. And thank goodness, because I really do love them. And I think they're one of the best things about the parks. And some people go to whatever theme park they choose just to ride the rides. And that's great. And I hope they get out of it what they want. But I go more for the atmosphere and the interaction and the things that you get out of seeing these shows. I think those are absolutely essential to a good park going experience. And so I'm very appreciative of the efforts and the talents that go into them.
I 100% agree with that.
So what do you guys think? Are there shows that you wish would change? Are you ready for Finding Nemo to get the boot? What do you want to see for a horror makeup show? You let us know what you think and we'll discuss. But I think that's all we got. So thank you guys for listening and we will talk to you next week. Don't forget to vote in the Who Won poll to make your voices heard. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this week's battle. Now it's time to let us know what you think. Vote in our Who Won weekly poll on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us at Theme Park Throwdown everywhere. You can also watch video recordings of all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. Just search Theme Park Throwdown. If you're planning your next vacation, we're here to help. Go to portkeyvacations.com and fill out a quote request form, and be sure to request either Melinda or Tricia to be your advisor. Finally, make sure you check out our family of podcasts on the UUOP network. The Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, the Taste of Universal podcast, the Unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast, the Portkey Passport, a Disney podcast for adults, the Theme Park Duo for your West Coast parks, Rush of Fear, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast, and Big Dumb Stuff for all your pop culture comedy. You can also check out our network partner, The Fudge Factor, on YouTube for all their park vlogs. That's it for this throwdown, guys. We'll see you next week in the ring.